All right, so today, hopefully, I'm not jiggling around too bad. I'm trying to hold still and I'm using a selfie stick. It's rather difficult because the cancer really affects my nervous system. But what am I bringing you today? Well, I had asked Spirit whether or not I should even bother because, so when I rolled these dice, that was my quiet to myself question. Why should I bother to go ahead and make these daily medical forecasts? Because what's happening to me is that I'll upload them and they will go into what's called high definition mode in on YouTube or wherever I put them, and they won't produce like they're supposed to. It'll take them a day, so people can see that I podcasted something, but they can't see any pictures, and it looks like nothing's there. So I believe this is a form of shadow banning, and so I simply just asked Spirit to go ahead and just tell me, should I podcast today? So I used my angel deck, my angel oracle, and what I got is luck is on your side, the new moon in Sagittarius. Well, I'm Sag rising. So it's suggesting that in my case, Sag rising in the first house, that there is something there working for me rather than against me. Now, you can see the dice in Sagittarius, in the ninth house, where, there are some hidden and unseen actions taking place, something affecting my Jupiter, which is, you can see if I'm first house Jupiter, that my location Sag is squaring my Jupiter. So or it's squaring itself in that sense. So, I'm running into obstacles, and you can see Mars. Mars is going to be the super idea. It's going to be the energy of how I kind of go about working my skills, my hidden messages. And hidden, I say it that way because not only is it in the ninth house, where we're talking a little bit unique and not necessarily, I always think of it as the house of aliens, and I have a lot of energy. Like, it depends on which chart you're looking at. If you're looking at my whole sign, I'm a ninth house stellium. If you're looking at sidereal, I'm a ninth house stellium. And if you're looking at western tropical, I'm an eighth house stellium. So, to me, I can kind of see using all of it because it all adds up and makes up who I am in some greater sense of the word. But where I'm wanting to have the ability to expand. So new moon is suggesting that that's exactly what's happening, is the expansion Sagittarius is getting ready to take place, and it has been difficult because I've been working at this for a while, and I don't know what it is exactly that I say or do that causes Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of them to just go, oh my God, stop her, stop her. I'm not real sure what that's all about. I've asked them several times to maybe be honest with me about what it might be that's causing them to feel locked on and unwilling to work with me. And it could be that I say things in a way that they find controversial, or I don't know. I try not to overstate things, and I try not to understate. I just try to be truthful with what I sense, see, feel, and know. And in that sense, why would this be of relevance? Well, in my chart, I have moon in Taurus opposite Neptune squaring Mercury, T square, right? Focal point. So I spend a lot of time thinking about the details, and I spend a lot of time working on trying to understand the hidden information. I believe that we live many lifetimes. I believe we're reincarnated beings. As I have lived, I do believe I was a Holocaust victim as a child, and it's had some really difficult and interesting effects upon my relationships, and it had some interesting effects on my ability to bear children. And if you are really into chart study, you can very much see the medical aspects that make up my whole body, that led to the many complications that I had with childbirth and with being female. And again, go back to that ninth house. Let's just go back to that concept that a lot of your ninth house, what you're going to get, even eighth house, they say 4, 8, and 12 are the houses of mystery. I allege that the ninth house is the highest of mysteries. If you think about it, the ninth house, the number nine, it's up in the air, right? It curls around and but its head is in the air. Its head is up high. It's the house of education. And what are we doing here? Well, I'm providing you an astrological education. This is what I do for a career. I'm a medical astrologer. And I'm bringing you information in addition to why I might be rather shadow banned, is because on the one hand, we have a system, a medical system that wants to provide you a prescriptive process, a petroleum prescriptive process that myself, I haven't been able to utilize. I've been allergic to just about every medication they've tried to toss at me, or I don't utilize it correctly. Something always goes wrong. So my body forever has been saying that I'm not a candidate for Western medicine. Probably none of us are, but I don't know this, and I'm not telling people to not go to their doctor and to not get medical care, because number one, that would be just really overstepping my boundaries, and number two, I have no right to say that. People choose the way they want to go about living their lives, and I honor and respect that. Myself, I basically find that I must go about getting my medical care differently. I have throat cancer that is very difficult to diagnose. I may be one of two people in the world that has it. I got it from radiation exposure at the age of 14, for which I am going to go into the story, but this is something I'm going to take my time and do a little bit at a time to kind of expose. It's a very uncomfortable story. It's a very intimate story, and it leaves me in a lot of ways feeling vulnerable to come out and tell the story, but it needs to be told for not just my sake, but for the good of all, because we've been deceived. We've been deceived medically. And that is why I'm a medical astrologer. I at some point just gave up and said, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't pretend to myself that they're there to help me. They don't know how to help me. The medical doctors that we have today are educated in such a way that what they do is provide a prescription, a drug from the pharmaceutical process. Now, that is fine if that is your choice. It is not my choice. And with that, I thank you for joining me here today. Please do hit the like, share, and subscribe, and help launch my channel. Share, duet, whatever, stitch. Help bring me about, because I can just tell you I'm being held back, and I'm going to be held back, and it's going to take something different to push me forward. And I'm very grateful for your assistance in this matter. Thank you.